So hey everyone, welcome back to another Modern Warfare video. I realise a lot of people have been struggling with the smoke kills challenge in order to unlock the Bruen MK9. Today I'm going to show you how to actually fix that problem and get the challenge done extremely easy, and I really do mean that. So if this video helps you guys out and it saves you a lot of frustration and wasted time, then be sure to leave a like on the video, it really helps me out. And be sure to stick around to the end of the video so you don't miss out on any important tips, as I've included a lot of them in this video. Without further ado, let's get into it. So last week Infinity Ward added the brand new Bruen MK9 weapon, and for this what you had to do was complete the challenge, which said you had to get 3 kills when the enemy is near smoke using an LMG in 15 different matches. That all seemed well and good. I got the challenge done. It was very difficult. Sometimes it was easy, other times it was not. The challenge seemed very inconsistent. I made a video on it to help people get it easier, but then I saw a few people on Twitter, on YouTube, and I think someone left me a comment as well, saying that the challenge was bugged and that you actually had to do it a different way. As it turns out, they were totally right, and let me show you how to do it as easy as possible. No annoying matches, no stupid bugs. This is how to do it fast. So I'm not sure whether the way you have to unlock the challenge is bugged or whether Infinity Ward just worded the challenge badly. Either way, they messed up, and what I want you guys to do is ignore the challenge. So as I said, what it does say is get 3 kills when the enemy is near smoke, and do that in 15 different matches with your LMG. I want you to ignore that challenge, and what I want you to do is assume that the challenge actually says kill 3 enemies in a match when you are near smoke. And obviously do that with your LMG in 15 different matches. So imagine it says get 3 kills in a match with your LMG when you are near smoke, and do that in 15 different matches. That is what I want you to assume the challenge says. Now you'll probably be seeing some Bruen MK9 gameplay in the background, but I'm also going to show you a few clips proving that this is the way the challenge actually works. So I'm not sure whether I just accidentally did those challenges before to unlock it, or whether you can unlock it different ways, but this is definitely the fastest and most reliable way to get it done. You will see that at the start of the match, I check, and there's a certain number of points towards the challenge done. Then I get 3 kills where I'm in the smoke, and then you can see it automatically updates and shows that my challenge progress has gone up by 1 point. Now another thing I've been hearing is that people have been saying, oh, you and the enemy need to be in the smoke for this challenge to work. Well, I'll tell you right now, that is absolute rubbish. And as I've said, this gameplay will prove that. I want to point out that if you and the enemy are in the smoke and you get a kill on them, that's great. It will still count towards your challenge because, as I've said, all that needs to happen is that you're in the smoke. So you still meet that criteria. However, there's no need for you and the enemy to be in the smoke. It still counts towards the challenge if you do it like that, but it's not necessary, and it's much more difficult to do it that way. So like I say, you need to be in the smoke. That is crucial. The enemy can also be in the smoke, but it is not necessary. Now I'm going to quickly talk about the modes, the class setup, and then some very important tips at the end. And I'll have timestamps in the description for that if you want to go straight to the important tips at the end. So what kind of modes do you want to be playing on? Well, currently there is a Shipment 24/7 playlist in the game. That is what I'd recommend. Shipment is a small map, it's easy to get kills on. You're a short distance away from the spawns, you know, it's really good for this. If that playlist isn't there by the time you're watching this video, look for any other playlist like Shoot the Ship or anything like that involving Shipment, or any other close quarter combat maps like that. If that's not around, then you want to either search for Shipment and other close quarter combat maps in other rotations. It doesn't really matter too much what you go for, just close quarter maps. You can also play on objective modes like Domination, Hardpoint and Headquarters as well, but that's not crucial. For the class setup, obviously you're going to need an LMG, and I'd suggest you have it leveled up enough so that you can get a thermal attachment on the weapon. This is my example class. You don't have to follow it, but feel free to if you want to. So I put on the Solazero NVG Enhanced Optic, and that acts like a thermal scope, so you can see enemies through the smoke, makes it a lot easier. I also put on the Operator Foregrip, which reduces recoil. However, you can also put on the Snatch Grip, as this improves the recoil, but it also increases the ADS speed. You're also going to want to put on the Stippled Grip Tape, as this increases the aim down sight speed and the sprint to fire speed. And no stock is good as well because it increases your movement speed and your aim down sight speed. Finally, I put on Sleight of Hand. This just helps you to reload the weapon faster because light machine guns are quite slow at reloading. And then for perks, I went for Cold Blooded in perk 1. This just makes you undetectable to AI targeting, such as with kill streaks, and it also makes you undetectable to thermal scopes. More people are using this at the moment to try and get this challenge done. If only they'd watched my video. Now in perk 2, you're going to want to go for the restock perk, and this allows you to recharge your equipment every 25 seconds. So obviously we're going to be putting on the smoke grenade to try and get these kills done. So if you've got recharge, every time you use your smoke grenade, it will recharge 25 seconds later, as long as you're still alive. Perk 3 doesn't matter too much, but I put on tracker just so you can see enemy footsteps. It helps you get kills a little bit faster. Obviously, like I've said, for the tactical, you're going to want to put on the smoke grenade, and the lethal doesn't matter, so just ignore it. For field upgrades, it doesn't really matter too much again, but 2 examples I can give you is either the tactical insertion, so that you can just put it down and respawn in a good point. Alternatively, you can put on the deployable cover, and what this will allow you to do is put it down and you can hide behind the shields and mount onto it. It just makes it easier for getting kills because you're less likely to get shot. So you can do that in the smoke, makes it a little bit easier. Now in terms of kill streaks, you're going to want to be putting on the personal radar and the UAV. This is because they're non-lethal kill streaks. It helps you to see where enemies are on the map, so it makes finding them and getting kills on them a little bit easier. But don't bother with any non-lethal kill streaks, because that will just take away from your kills when doing this. Now the final section of the video is the all-important juicy tips. What tips can I give you to get this challenge done any faster than you already can do? So first things first, as soon as you spawn, you're likely going to want to throw down a smoke grenade. You can also do this when you're waiting near a high flow area or where you're looking at an objective, something like that. Do it wherever you think you're going to be able to get kills. You don't have to be right up in the enemy's face, like I say. Generally on maps like Shipment, you probably want to stay in your spawn corner and look across to the other corner to try and get kills. That's probably the easiest way of doing it without dying a lot. You want to hang around your smoke and look out of the smoke for enemies, and that's why having this thermal scope is really helpful. Now sometimes people will be using cold-blooded. Obviously that means they won't be detectable by your optic as well, but you can still see their outline just about. They just won't be as clear. So if you think you see someone, go for it and try and shoot them. And obviously, like I've said, use cover if you can. So for example, on Shipment, there's lots of big bins or barrels or crates. Hide behind those if you can while looking out of the smoke. So for example, mounting onto something is good because that way most of your body's covered, you're less likely to be shot, but you can also see where the enemies are if any turn up. And that's why the deployable cover is really good for this as well. Now if there's a smoke cloud on the other side of the map and you think there's an enemy in there, or it's a high flow area of the map, definitely try running towards the smoke, getting into it and then killing the enemy, because quite often that can be useful as well. Now another really important thing is that a lot of people, myself included when I did my last video, don't realise that you can actually check the progress of the challenge in game. So I thought, and I know other people have thought as well, that there's no way to check your progress in the middle of the game. You have to wait to the end and see whether you've made progress or not. And therefore in the last video I suggested to try and get as many of those kills in the smoke as you can to make it more likely to count. However, there is a clever little way to find out your challenge progress, and I'd completely forgotten about this. So what you have to do, pull up the menu when you're in a match, go to your loadout, edit the classes if you're going to change the weapon, go to the LMG list, scroll down to the bottom and you'll see the Bruen MK9, and it will show you how many points out of 15 you've gotten, and therefore how much progress you've made with the challenge. So check it before the start of the match or in the pre-game lobby, and then whenever you're in a match and you think you've gotten 3 of those smoke kills, check the progress, see if it's updated. If it's gone up by 1 point, you don't need to do any more for that match. If it hasn't, you need to keep getting more smoke kills until it goes up by 1. Now, very importantly guys, do not leave your match once you've gotten this progress done. So let's say you check the menu, you see it's gone up by 1 point and you think, great, I've got the challenge done. Do not, whatever you do, don't leave the match early before it ends, because often what happens in the game is that if you quit a match once you've completed the challenge for that game, you'll actually be given a penalty. I believe the figure is around 3 games afterwards. So for the next 3 games, if you quit early, you're going to have to do the challenge again without it counting, and that adds on a lot more time which you don't need. So stay in the match till the end. Once you've got the challenge done, you can obviously keep playing with that weapon, or you can switch to another weapon and work on that. That might be a good way to do it, but whatever you do, don't leave the match. Now, people have also said to me before with other challenges, oh, I finished the match and I think I've got the challenge done, but then I see the challenge bar is either gone to 0 or it hasn't updated at all with my progress, even though I'm sure I've gotten it done. While this challenge can be a bit glitchy, all the challenges in Modern Warfare are very inconsistent with when they track and when they don't. When they update, sometimes they'll randomly reset to 0, and if that happens, just know it isn't permanent. So if you think your challenge progress isn't updating, all you need to do is close the application, restart your game, and then once you load up multiplayer again, you should have the challenge done. So those are all my new and improved tips to get the Bruen MK9 LMG. With these new tips, it shouldn't be hit and miss. You should definitely be getting the challenge done every single match, and so it shouldn't take you more than 15 matches to get this challenge done. Now if you guys have got any other tips which I haven't thought of, be sure to leave them down below in the comment section. I'll be interested to see what people have to say, and make sure you're also leaving a like on the video if you found it useful, to let me know, as obviously I put a lot of work into the video and I'd really appreciate that because it helps me out. Now finally, if you found the video useful and you like what you see, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on so that you don't miss out on any of my upcoming Modern Warfare videos. I've got a lot of useful videos coming soon, and it'd be great to see you guys joining the channel, so feel free to subscribe if you want to. But with that all said and done, thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you found it useful, and I'll see you guys on the next one.